All-Star Sunday, February 15th, where the best basketball players in the world, well, almost all of them, is walking into LA for this showcase. And it's no different for Kevin Durant, who's done this 14 times. He's number 6 on the all-time scoring list. This guy lives and breathes hoops, okay? Literally practicing a shooting form in the club. But it's weird, because before the All-Star game, instead of warming up, shooting his basketball, he was checking his phone. Matter of fact, he was staring at his phone, walking into the arena, coming out of warm-ups, even during layup lines. And nobody was really thinking much of it until NBA Twitter started releasing the KD files. Allegations of Kevin Durant using a burner account talking about his former and current teammates were circulating online. And if everything in these screenshots was true, this would definitely ruin his image. And with Bill Simmons and Skip Bayless addressing these leaks, I think it's time for me to come in and do some detective work. I'm gonna prove to you guys that these screenshots are actually real. And because I think it's fair, at the end of the video, I will be playing devil's advocate. Because there's a real case that none of this is real at all. So if you don't know what the KD files are, all right, in other words, you actually have a job and you have a life. They basically start from this tweet right here, where Cade Cunningham was talking about the All-Star format. This guy quote tweets, "Adam Silver be overdoing it. Sometimes you don't mess with tradition." Complaining about the All-Star format this year, okay? And then this guy, Pranav, he quote tweets with, "Y'all remember he changed the design of every major trophy there was for zero reason at all," okay? Talking about the Larry O'Brien trophy. And of course, if you put out anything about the NBA on Twitter, you gotta check in with Kevin Durant. Y'all gotta check in with Big Bro. Okay, this guy's the leader of NBA Twitter. He says, "Damn, y'all even hate the trophies?" And Pranav, the original quote tweeter, hits him with an all-time blitz. "Not as much as I hate your drone investments." All right, now for context, back in 2020, it was reported that Durant invested in a company named Skydio, which is a drone company facing scrutiny after selling its technology to the Israeli military during its military occupation in Gaza. So this is really the press of the year, okay? KD's back against the wall. He just does not address the response, okay? So he says, "So you hate the trophies? My God, you guys are just miserable." Okay, basically prime Floyd Mayweather, okay? And so Pranav responds, "Not the only thing I mentioned I hate." KD again deflects, "Why do you hate the trophy so much?" And this next response is the final dagger. This is a Kevin Harlan good, a Mike Breen bang. All right, he says, "They look cheap and uncreative." There, I answer your question. Will you answer my question about Skydio, a drone company you invested in selling to the IDF, or will you stick by your brand of deflecting and ducking? After this tweet was posted by Pranav, this officially set off the KD files. Because this guy right here, at BaseFrog23, responds to Pranav's tweet by saying, "Do you believe KDF," or they call him KDF, "will address the burner of his at GetHigher77, basically accusing Kevin Durant of having this burner right here, "Get off my dicker, son," which is now protected, private. He basically exposes his supposed burner because he's angry at his political affiliation. And this is when it gets wild, okay? We get into some screenshots where it really sounds like Kevin Durant. First screenshot, Kevin Durant, "Coach called that play to pass to Alpi," okay? Referring to Alperen Sengun. "I'm gonna turn the ball over with this ass team. Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future," okay? Basically on Alpi. And this is interesting because 6 days ago, Zach Lowe, NBA reporter, actually said that Kevin Durant's body language could hurt Rockets' chemistry. Young players revere him and are somewhat intimidated by him. Coincidentally, 9 days ago, Kevin Durant was not happy with Sengun's pick and roll defense, okay? You could see that he's frustrated right here at the end after the basket goes in. But let's keep moving along, okay? Second screenshot. "I can't trust Jabari to make a shot or get a stop." Someone responds, "Just don't give him a tech free throw, to be honest." Kevin Durant says he's low-key I'm not gonna lie, this might be the worst one, because Jabari Smith's literal idol growing up was Kevin Durant. That was my favorite player growing up. I wanted to be him, emulate him, and do what he does on the court. I don't even know what to say. Not only is this nuts because they're currently teammates, but KD and Jabari actually worked out in the summer together. Maybe KD didn't think this back then, but then again, Jabari did mess this workout out with that shot right there. You can see the train. Look at KD in the background. You're probably drafting up a tweet right now. But there's more, okay? Another guy in the group chat says, "Pull the numbers for all those guards," and I bet it's similar all around, talking about some certain guards in the league. I wouldn't say Kai was competing with me, but that light skin and that triple-double cocaine bear was. This guy called Russ a triple-double cocaine bear. But Kevin Durant's basically referring to the fact that Kyrie Irving quit on him, okay? He wasn't competing with him while they were teammates, but Devin Booker and Russell Westbrook were. Another screenshot here talking about James Harden saying he misses him. Slightly delusional, but I understand him. When Kawhi Leonard withdrew for Team USA during the Paris Olympics, KD allegedly says this, okay, revealing what Kawhi sent into the team group chat. Like I said, I want to preface this by saying a lot of these can be AI edited, or it could be some somebody impersonating Kevin Durant. Okay, we'll get into the proof later on in this video. But again, allegedly, KD says Kyrie thought the white European was gonna play honorable hoops. Okay, referring to Luka Doncic when Kyrie and Luka were both together on the Mavs. All right, and Luka Doncic was not playing defense. This one to me is the funniest one. All right, he says, nah, that boy Kyrie really on his best behavior around the European, but treat his own people like we owe him something. And then a minute later, he says, you would have thought me and James in that cereal. In this next group chat, he's ranting about his own team with his fan accounts. KD Prime says, KD, you're not shooting like that too often, man. That was just fluke. All those shots missing. KD says, I don't know how to approach a game with these guys. Ranting about his team with KD Prime. Then he talks about holding Steph accountable in film when he was in Golden State. All right, I don't know what he's referring to here. I'm guessing it's Draymond or maybe like Iguodala. He's up at 2 in the morning saying that he misses Ben Simmons. It's funny because there's a 3-minute gap between these messages, okay? You had to think about it for 3 minutes. Then there's this account owned by Suns. He sends in the group chat, life with Devin Booker and Vogel. And KD responds, 2 dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong-un. What? The Suns are my team when we lose and Book's team when we win. This guy just compared Frank Vogel to Kim Jong-un. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this one, I was like, no, this has to be fake. There's no way KD talks like this. This has to be some loser on NBA Twitter, okay? But there's more. With him referring to Frank Vogel as a dictator, now he starts talking about his former head coaches. This is his first tweet talking about Steve Kerr, referring to when Michael Jordan punched him when they were on the Bulls together. Then he says, I really don't like this white man. This man don't respect my game at all. Okay, referring to Steve Kerr yet again. Furthermore, he questions the Nets front office. Okay, Ben Simmons is playing through depression. He ain't playing ball either. Why would we trade Kyrie for someone who hates basketball? Then he questions the discourse about how the media treats its superstars, talking about Jokic's turnovers. Then specifically refers to a situation in Golden State, talking about if you don't pass the ball to Steph, you're getting waived. And the last one I saw is him talking about Chris Paul, saying Chris Paul really ain't it, referring to his time on the Suns when him and Chris Paul briefly played together. This one's the most believable one to me. Okay, but while all of this was being released on Twitter, while this was all happening, Kevin Durant was at All-Star Sunday. Rockets official Twitter account tweeting pictures of Kevin Durant walking into the arena on his phone, clearly busy with something. I don't know what he's typing there. This is legit. And even after changing into his warm-ups, he's still on his phone. Look at his face. The face of panic. All right, you can see the trembling in his eyes. Even in warm-ups, during layup lines, he's still on his phone. What is he doing on his phone? It's very suspicious behavior. And a lot of people are saying that his demeanor kind of looks off, or his body language doesn't look right. And what's even more strange is just the day before the Celebrity All-Star Game was happening, and NBA reporter Shams was playing in this game, okay, putting up an absolute stinker. And Kevin Durant actually live tweeted saying, my goodness, have some respect, Shams, during the game. The very next day, he's doing this, okay? So clearly there's something going on. And the thing that's really suspicious is with all of this footage of him on his phone, Kevin Durant has actually been silent since all of these screenshots have come out. He hasn't said a single word. He hasn't denied it any sort of way. He hasn't made any sort of statement. But then comes the All-Star game, okay? The All-Star introductions. I'm going to show you the footage, and you tell me whether or not you think Kevin Durant is guilty. Kevin Durant. I just don't know, man. Well, again, none of this is 100% confirmed, okay? All of this is allegedly Durant. Here's some proof as to why people believe this is legit, okay? First of all, we gotta go all the way back to 2017 when Kevin Durant accidentally tweeted from his main account referring to himself in the third person, okay? Talking about he didn't like Billy Donovan and that his roster wasn't that good. It was just him and Russ. Then saying, imagine taking Russ off that team. We see how bad they were. KD can't win a championship with those cats, okay? He's on the wrong account. And he admitted to this at a press conference, okay? Saying that it was childish and idiotic. So he has a history of using burner accounts, okay? Matter of fact, he's admitted to it himself.
Do you have burner accounts?
Yes.
Next, we have this tweet from Kevin Durant, okay, on September 2nd, 2021. This was around the time where the Six God, Champagne Papi, dropped his album CLB. And Kevin Durant, being supportive of his homie, tweeted out this owl referring to OVO, which is Drake's brand. However, there might be a deeper meaning to this photo, because on the burner account, Get Off My Dicker Son, the banner is the exact same owl. And this account joined Twitter on August 2021, just a month before Kevin Durant tweeted this. And now that I see it, it kind of looks like he captured a screenshot from an account banner on the mobile version of the app. So there's that link right there. Furthermore, an account by the name of Dean_1917 tweeted more life towards Kevin Durant's burner in 2022 on the exact same day as Kevin Durant's birthday. That same account then made this tweet when all the files were dropping yesterday. Another clue comes from a screenshot I showed you guys earlier, okay, where he says he doesn't know how to approach a game with these guys, referring to his teammates. The first message from this group chat is from Eddie Gonzalez, all right? He says, make a shot. Damn. Well, Eddie Gonzalez is actually Kevin Durant's podcast partner, okay? This right here is Eddie Gonzalez, okay? He works with KD on the boardroom. He's like one of Kevin Durant's good friends, okay? And if he's in the same group chat when KD is speaking about himself with I instead of he or they, that's interesting. But then we gotta go back to when he got injured with the Brooklyn Nets, okay? A fan responded to his burner, when are you back on the court? This was right in the middle of a long injury skid when he was on the Nets. And some fans even dug deeper, okay? Went back on the Wayback Machine, finding other Kevin Durant tweets where he's responding to guys that work with his company, 35 Ventures. This tweet right here where he talks about Ja Morant is his favorite player. All right, one of his buddies named Tony Parker responds, followed by Kevin Durant's main account. But out of all of this evidence, the most suspicious case to me is why hasn't Kevin Durant addressed this? This is an insane allegation, okay? I'm just showing you guys the tweets about basketball. There's also other screenshots where he, you know, uses slurs and is joking about politics that would absolutely get him in trouble. And with him always being on Twitter, always interacting with fans, all of a sudden he's radio silent. The fact that he hasn't said anything since this tweet, it's been 2 days, all right? Everyone's talking about it. There's no way he doesn't see it. It's a really bad look for Kevin Durant, okay? And if we're just talking basketball, he's still got to suit up with Jabari Smith, with Şengün. The Rockets are currently 4th in the West, okay? They're in the middle of trying to win a championship. It just feels like there has to be something that comes out of this, all right? And Kevin Durant, he didn't play well at the All-Star game. Put up this stat line right here. Somebody put the elephant emoji. But the last piece of evidence that proves this is actually Kevin Durant comes from his podcast.
What's up with the hair though? I don't brush your hair.
I don't, like, for what?
You come up for what?
Why get cuts? Why lotion my why lotion?
You getting too much money, man. You don't care about showering and haircuts.
I shower. But I might go a day without 2 days. I might go 2 days sometimes without, you know what I mean, hopping in that water and wait till I get to the gym.
No.
Sometimes I might just want to go musty for the
wash your ass, man.
After I just absolutely demolished those noodles, let's take a look at things that disprove these KD files. First point is, how could he be in group chats with so many NBA Twitter accounts and not one of them has outed him before this? A lot of these tweets, he's clearly talking about the Nets, the Suns, his tenure with the Warriors. Why has there never been anything released? And also, how do you think he introduced himself in these group chats? You know, like, how did he verify to people in the group chat that this was KD? Also, another great point is, why would a person be in a group chat with a burner with real mutuals? It kind of defeats the purpose of a burner if he's in a group chat with his buddies. The only thing I could see is if he gets hacked, all of his stuff on his main Twitter account won't be seen by people, can't get revealed, can't get busted. But also, there's just so many chats that look AI generated, okay? So many people are faking these chat messages nowadays. This one, he says, I'm so sick of Steven Adams. We need some offense on this team, man. He's actually speaking like an NBA troll. I kind of refuse to believe that this is how Kevin Durant texts. And the final thing is, after listening to Kevin Durant talk about basketball and talk about how he interacts with fans on Twitter, there's been nothing but praise coming out of his mouth, okay? I listened to his entire podcast with Cade Cunningham. There's even a video of Kevin Durant getting emotional on the topic of talking hoops.
I can tell how much he means to you, man.
Nah, for sure. For sure, because it's like, I come from neighborhoods where people don't even talk to each other. Like, so much hate in the world, too. It's like, people get to start laughing and joking for the game of ball. Like, it's cool to me, so, like, it get me emotional, dog.
He shows so much love to the league and all the other players. It's kind of hard to see him in this light, talking behind the back of his teammates, his former teammates, with some Twitter trolls. But just like Skip Bayless, I'm not sure if this alleged burner is real, okay? Kevin Durant's definitely the easiest and the biggest NBA Twitter target. And while I can't confirm it's 100% KD's account, he needs to address this to the public. Because let's be honest, his online behavior and everything that he puts on the internet, it fits the target. Practicing a shooting form in the club, not lotioning, not showering. We knew who he was. I think soon we'll see a lot of media members start asking him and his teammates about these tweets, whether they've seen it or not. And so clearing the air is essential, not just for us, but for him and his team. But let me know in the comments down below whether or not you are a believer of the KD files. Which screenshot was the craziest one? Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.